Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome. This is a video regarding the Culling. It's a game that just came out about a month ago. I wanted to do a little video to kind of go over some of the tips for you guys as far as winning a match. I had a match that I was streaming on Twitch that I won here, and that's what this one is. I just wanted to go over some of the highlights and give you guys some pointers. So the first thing is you pretty much want to scope out where you're going to start. At this point in the game, there's only one map. There are going to be some other maps and some random generation coming in the near future. So you want to scope out where you're at, quickly craft some stuff. As you can see here right from the get-go, I'm already crafting the bandage to get ready to make the satchel. Now if you don't have the perk that starts out with the backpack, you're going to want to craft a satchel pretty early on. I pretty much do it one of the first things, just because by the time you get to buildings, it's really hard to deal with the 3 item slots, especially, I have a man tracker perk as well, so I start with the man tracker, so I'm already down to 2, but as you can see here, there's plenty to loot. You just kind of want to run around and do your crafting. So the next point, obviously, once you've gotten that squared away, is to really keep an eye on the man tracker. To touch a little more on that, as you can see, I just popped it up and there was someone nearby, so I'm running in the opposite direction. I am avoiding the conflict at this point. This is the play style I go with. Now this is kind of an unusual find here. I had found some funk, and next to it I found actually a tier 2 weapon pretty early on, and that's huge. Typically you can find that stuff in crates or maybe in buildings, but finding it out randomly like that, I hadn't found that before, so that was definitely a huge bonus. Here's a point where I had gotten to someone or heard someone running by and actually ducked into a bush real quick because, again, I'm avoiding the conflict. Yes, I do have a weapon. At this point, I still don't have armor, and it's too late in the game. There's still 20 minutes left. The point of this game is definitely to be the last man standing, so there's no point in getting injured early on. Here's a funk barrel. You can loot these. These are worth 15 funk, so it's quite a bit more than the bone piles. Definitely don't forget about these, and it takes a little bit longer, but it's well worth it. So at this point, I'm gonna get the armor out, or the satchel, I should say, that I crafted and make the armor, which is 10 funk. It's well worth it. That way, it's almost full armor, and it's gonna help you in combat, no matter what. So that's something that, again, early on, I definitely try to get the satchel up, and I try to get the armor up ASAP. Now here's a building I was running to. I noticed someone else running into it. I did pull out the man tracker, and sure enough, there is a guy over by this building. So I played it out, wanted to see obviously where he was gonna go, and we just kind of bounced around for a little bit, and then he ended up taking off. This is an example. Yeah, I could run in and try to go for the kill. I'll end up having half health if I even survive, and then obviously have to deal with that. So here's a building. This is an area that had already been looted. I ran through just to make sure that they did get everything. You'd be surprised how much. I've played several games, and many times people leave stuff behind. So it's more common actually than not. These places were actually pretty stripped. Maybe a couple people had already been through. I don't know. So here's another building I came upon. You do want to usually hit the buildings pretty early on. As you can see, someone did leave some funk behind in there, so it's a little bit of a scavenge. This game is obviously a scavenging crafting game, as well as the player versus player. You're going to find these crates. They have the white blinking lights. That means they're free to open. White/green. I don't know, it's more of a green, I guess. But yeah, you're going to want to open those. They usually have pretty good stuff in them. So typically at this point, it's about 10 minutes, the gas cloud starts closing in, and at this point I'm running in kind of towards the circle, trying to avoid whoever I can. It's at 8 minutes, so it does take a couple minutes to close in, quick check of the scoreboard, and then keep running, essentially. But everything's, got to check the man tracker quick and then get back on it. It does turn off every time you move. You can stand in place and look at it, but as soon as you move, the man tracker turns off. But having that perk with starting with the man tracker is a huge a huge boost, especially for anybody that's a little bit newer and definitely needs the boost and help trying to figure out where people are at. You know, if you don't know the map, stuff like that, it helps a lot. Even for me, I do know the map pretty well, and it still helps a lot. So you're just able to avoid conflict until the very end, which is the point. So there, I'm checking the scoreboard again. Here, you know, another minute's passed. Now phase 2 has kicked in. That's at 4 minutes. So now this gas cloud is gonna come, you know, pretty close to the platform here. It's gonna close in almost all the way. And then after a couple more minutes, it'll eventually get all the way to the center if there's still people alive. But at this point, I'm just kind of checking my thing. I'm watching them fight over there, watching them fight. I could have popped that blue crate. I probably should have popped that blue crate. I have full health and armor here. I apologize you guys can't see it. I was actually streaming this on Twitch, so I have a small square down there to cover up the webcam. But at this point, I saw that the kill was done. I wanted to swoop in before he got a chance to heal, which I did. As you can see, he was going for the heal, but I was able to swoop in, got him in the back, which was a nice hit to land. And then from there, it's just battling him. You know, it's just me and him at this point. So it's just a matter of pinning him down. I think that I was a little nerve-wracked. It wasn't a clean fight on my behalf. I knew I had it either way because his health was so low, but it's like, you know, I still should have played clean, and having the pressure of everybody watching and stuff really added to it. And that's pretty much it. You know, I was able to block a few, shove him back, you know, land a few, and that's all we needed. And that was the victory. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any other questions or comments, please leave them below. As always, I will see you guys next time. Rock on.